Hey everyone, welcome back to Trek on the Tube. Today we continue on with our Star Trek The Original Series reviews. Apparently, this is a divisive episode. We're talking Season 1, Episode 9 in the release order, Dagger of the Mind. Let's jump right in. I like it. I think it's good. I mean, honestly, it makes for some entertaining TV. The plot, the premise is quite simple, quite straightforward, dare I say. A man escapes from a prison, or rather a penal colony. He claims he's not insane, not dangerous. He claims he's not even an inmate, and we eventually learn that all that is indeed true, before also discovering a terrible secret about said penal colony. They have a machine that can affect, nay, influence people's minds. Hot damn. Now yes, it may be simple, it may be straightforward, but the intrigue is well set up and well executed. The performances are solid, there's interesting science fiction, and also some very relevant social commentary. I mean, the episode truly does dive into the ethical and moral dilemmas surrounding the forced rehabilitation of convicts. How far can we go, be it with medication or technology? What counts as helping someone and what is simply inhumane? Is this kind of treatment too intrusive? So many great questions. Now, the episode doesn't necessarily provide an answer to all of them, but it at least gets its audience thinking about all of these issues. On some level, I must admit, Dagger of the Mind did kind of remind me of an episode we just got. What Are Little Girls Made Of? I'm sure you know what I mean. Captain Kirk and his crew arrive on some remote planet with a facility run by one of the leading minds of the future. He's famous, he's respected, he's renowned, and Kirk desperately wants to meet him, but oh no, the guy's gone insane and he's hiding something. Turns out, Mr. Famous Man is no longer all that he was. Now, I'm not saying this plot isn't plausible, and of course I'm sure it could happen to multiple people across the galaxy. The galaxy is a big place. I'm just saying both episodes share that similarity and were released very close together. That's a bit of a shame. And it's not the only complaint I have. From a purely logical standpoint, it is a bit strange. This special machine, the neural neutralizer, doesn't have, more security protocols in place. I feel like that was purposefully omitted to streamline the story. You know, a plot convenience, if you will. As was the incompetence of the officers. Oh yeah, that's right. We got two very mediocre Starfleet officers in this episode. First, the transporter guy, which doesn't seem to know the most basic of basic things. I mean, maybe you ought to at least communicate with the high security prison before trying to beam things in and out. That seems like common sense to me. Second, the guest character, Dr. Noel. She's a psychiatrist and does take the time to point out she knows her job very well, but she doesn't. She just doesn't. She's fucking clueless. Not only does she just dismiss any of the captain's concerns based solely on the reputation of the famous and respected Dr. Adams, which is mind-boggling and unprofessional, but she also uses her "I know my profession" excuse to justify using the neural neutralizer. Just because you're a trained psychiatrist doesn't mean you know how to use every piece of technology that relates to that particular field, especially a machine you've never seen before that very day, and you didn't even know existed. It's ridiculous. And that's not even taking into consideration how bloody useless she is at her job. I mean, seriously, in her professional opinion, these two people didn't look even a little off. I mean, goddamn. Please do note that none of this has anything to do with the actor and her performance, which was good. It's all about how, the character was written. Anyway, Dagger of the Mind isn't all complaints, quite the contrary. There are so many great things about it. For starters, as we mentioned, the performances. I loved our regular cast, but also thought that the guests did a terrific job as well. Those zoned out people at the facility were truly off-putting, and even if I was a little confused by the screaming man in the beginning, his performances made it very clear that the pain the character was experiencing was incredibly and indescribably horrific, and I truly felt for him more and more as the episode explained in greater detail the ordeal he was living. The set design was nice, and even if the neural neutralizer seemed a little simplistic, it makes sense because it's in the future. The pacing was also well handled. There was action, intrigue, horror, expository dialogue, but never any big downtimes. From a visual effects standpoint, maybe this episode wasn't the best. I mean, the ship turning looked a little wonky, and they did reuse a planet's surface matte painting, which takes away from the New World's New Planets aspect just a bit. But the story that was told was compelling, thought-provoking, and ultimately quite tragic. Who would have expected them to actually kill the bad guy? Kill him with solitude, no less. Wow. That's intense. And so, all of these strong elements do very much, in my opinion, make up for the complaints that I've had over the course of this video. Not to mention, the world building was nice. We learn that the prison system we have today is all but gone in favor of a more humane, almost more comfortable type of facility. And there was some unique character development when it came to Spock. Yes, that's right. For the first time ever, he executed some sort of bizarre Vulcan mental technique. Can all Vulcans or half Vulcans do this? I cannot wait to learn more about that. Conclusion, Dagger of the Mind is a solid episode of Star Trek. Alright, let's move on to the Easter eggs and references part of the video. As usual, there are basically none or none at all, except for, and I guess this kind of counts, the reused matte painting from the episode Where No Man Has Gone Before. Which transitions us perfectly into the comparison segment because the shot was actually entirely replaced for the remastered version. Considering it was indeed a bit ridiculous to use the exact same background in the exact same way twice on two completely different worlds, and since the facility on Tantalus is underground, it made sense to revamp it a little. This is what it became, and I like it. Even if it is a bit of an odd place to put an entrance, I guess beaming there or using a shuttle are the only options, and I suppose that makes sense for a prison. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice. Note that we can see rings in the sky. That is because in all of the enhanced planet shots for the remastered version, rings were added. Those are the biggest differences. The other things are really just the usual color corrections. And yes, that shot of the ship turning looks way better. Okay, so what do you guys think of the remastered effects? Do you guys agree with this idea of completely changing landscapes or buildings, you know, that kind of stuff? And of course, the debate of which version is canon also comes into play because both this Tantalus and that Tantalus cannot be, you know, in existence at the same time, within the same timeline or dimension at least. I don't know if this will ever be resolved, but yeah, I'll keep bringing it up because that's who I am. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. You can become a patron. You can buy that 2020 shirt, the Halloween special edition one, and you're the best. Live long and prosper.